Hey everybody, happy fun day Sunday. It is sunny and quite beautiful here in the DC area. And honestly, I think it's time that we take the rodent out of the equation and do not celebrate the rodent Groundhog Day any further. Why we would place how many more weeks we have of spring or winter into this varmint that's probably been cloned and recycled so many times and has no freaking clue why they're dragging him out of his hole. So anywho, lots of messages being doused upon me before my eyes were even opened this morning. Many of which will come out in videos moving forward because Spirit is asking me to step forward with topics that maybe others don't really want to talk about. And so I said, okay, just show me the way. So today I went to my little favorite meditation spot after doing the farmer's market with a friend. And I just sat on the bench and then I laid on the bench. And, I invited all of my friends to come. And when they do, they could be in the form of looking like a UFO ship. It could be in the form of looking clouds moving in different directions. There can be different types of flashing that occurs. They always have a way of signaling me. And then as far as the elementals go, they appear in many different faces and shapes and sizes and so on. And normally my very first thing to do is to ask them to be very careful because I want to be very protective of them. I do not need them to prove themselves to me. I do not need them to get in front of me so that I can videotape them and share them. Woohoo, look at me, look what I saw, look what I videoed. Most of the time over the years, I ask them, hey, can I video you? And for the longest time, they would be there, and as soon as I would focus my camera, they would go. And that would be okay. It's kind of become funny because really at the end of the day, it's what I know. And it's what I know to be true. And it's what I know that I pick up with all my sensories. And I have not a damn thing to prove to anyone. My spiritual column of light is aligned and it is fully attached to my antenna. Is been debriefed, so to speak, of all the corrupted attachments that have occurred over lifetime. So I've worked very diligently to clear that and to be a really good channel. And when I say a channel, meaning a transmitter of energies, and to learn how to bob and weave with these transmitted energies and how to decipher and filter them into what I could do is to deliver a message. I don't channel beings. I don't call in other beings of different angelic or galactic descent at this time and speak on their behalf. I don't leave my body in order to let something else step in and channel in that way. So let me just make that super clear. It's the me, myself, and I of the higher self and me. It's all my big brothers and sisters of my team. It's a knowingness that I've had all my life. And so with that being said, one of the messages that was coming through was all the people who are more comfortable being out of body. And so being out of body, they're just not comfortable in there. And that's due to a lot of different reasons. It could be trauma, drama. It could be a newer soul on this earth plane. It's forms of protection is what it is, honestly. But then there's others who want to go out of body and have a journey experience. So they'll use ayahuasca, psilocybins, they'll use LSD, and some will have a profound experience and then try to repeat that through microdosing in some ways and possibly macrodosing in other ways. And then there are people that use e-cigarettes so they can get their nicotine and chemical fix and convince themselves it's better than rolling tobacco and smoking it. I am not a medical physician and I do not play one on this video. I'm just talking about my observations, so let's just be clear on that. There are those who are addicted to CBDs and THCs and being convinced of which ones are better. They're all self-induced, taking you out of the body. Now, yes, there are many products that are here that are coming out to the forefront that help with anxiety and all kinds of other things, but they really have to be very carefully looked at on the purpose in which you choose to partake of any of it, okay? Because what's been happening is this medicinal thing is now taken into recreational, and then recreational is now taken on the daily, so it's no longer recreational. I'm talking about, like, there's alcohol, there's farm drugs, there's street drugs, there's everything possible out there to take you out of your body, which takes you away from the soul's journey, which takes you away from your God spark connection, which takes you way the frick off your path and your journey to what it is you came here to do. And one of the things that's part of the awakening is knowing that there are these diversions and nefariously, deceitfully placed on your path. And then things steamroll and they become out of your control. And so sugar addictions and all of these things that people want to say are pleasure centers and so on and so forth are just steamrolling out of control. And they're taking more and more out of their body and out of the human experience that we came here to be. And in this human experience, we have access to so much magic without a lot of the other self-induced, which cause self-infliction, okay? Because it does discombobulate the nervous system. So now it doesn't know how to self-soothe, self-regulate. It's almost impossible once you begin to introduce so many other foreign, synthetic, and insane materials into your body, okay, or in your surrounding area. Now, this also goes for what we put on our skin, what foods we're eating, and all these damn fragrances we're spraying every which direction. You know, what we wash our clothes with and so on. That's a whole other topic. Spirit's telling me right now. I've done videos on those before. So what was bringing me to a lot of this message is, like, you know, I've heard people out here who have huge amounts of following that are channeling and channeling and channeling and telling you, I have a galactic message, or I have a message from this person, or I channel, you know, 30 different people, and so on and so forth. And so we really need to be careful of who it is that we're listening to and what vibratory frequencies we're allowing to connect to our energetic bodies, because they can be just as damaging as some of these self-induced things that we're taking on, again wreaking havoc on our circuitry boards. Now, I have heard many say, you know, in my ayahuasca trip or my psilocybin trip or my LSD trip, and this is the messages that I got. And then some of them don't say anything. They may say it maybe every 20th video that they put out. So when we get into these altered states of consciousness that are self-induced, we do run the risk. We run the risk, and I repeat, we run the risk of running into all of our shadows. And the shadows of others. And it can be quite the crap storm. And then when you come back and integrate back into your body, you've brought it all with you. And so now many things are distorted. And even though some people have these abilities to edit and make these fantastic videos and add music and all those other things, and it just seems like their message just resonates with you, you have to ask, how the hell did they get that message? And I'm being inclined to tell a story, so I'm being told to tell this. So, back in 2020, when all this stuff occurred, I was so excited because now it was my time to really have nothing else to do but learn how to communicate better and filter this information. So I happened to be taking another course at Edgar Cayce Institute. I was staying near there, and a few people were talking about psilocybins, and I thought, oh, well, okay, let me, I don't do drugs. I gave up alcohol years ago for inflammation. And I don't like being out of control. I like to be right here in it through other consciousness levels, okay? So I bought some, and then I came home and I figured out I needed to do things very sacredly, and I set it all up. And I got up that morning and I was really prepared, and so I ate some and nothing happened. And so later I called this person, or they actually messaged me, how did it go? And I go, nothing. Really? Did you have enough? Try it tomorrow. Take some more. Okay. So the next morning I got up, totally prepared, ate more. Nothing. And so then I knew a person who is all up into and got through cancer treatment, all this stuff from microdosing on something else. So she brought me over some psilocybins. I thought, all right, different branch, different person, different everything. So about a month later, I tuned in. Spirit's like, okay, you can try it tomorrow. And so I got up in the morning and prepared myself. Nada. And so then very loudly in my download, which is my own voice, as I was walking upstairs to put them away, said, this is not how you're going to do it. You're going to learn how to do this on your own with no third party, influential, whatever, and you're going to teach others. Damn, couldn't I have just gotten a sneak peek at some of these things these other people are saying? And it would have created a lot of falsehood, but here was my thinking about the preparation of all of it. Was, okay, I could take this trip, and then I would know when I was there what the vibratory frequency was, and then I could start practicing on my own to get there. So I sort of equated it like this. Let's just say I've never eaten beef Wellington. I have no idea why it's coming through. So I go to a restaurant and I really want to experience some of the best beef Wellington. So I go to a restaurant, the dinner comes, the entree comes, and I just devour it. And the whole time I'm thinking, how can I recreate this at home? How can I recreate this at home? So I'm tasting the ingredients, I'm kind of figuring out the ingredients, and then a couple weeks go by, and then I go and buy all the ingredients, get the freshest cut of beef, whatever. I come home and I prepare it, and it's not quite like the restaurant. It might not be at all like the restaurant, and I need to tweak some things. But the point is, I experienced what it really was like from a trained professional chef, culinary, that prepared it. So then I knew what it was supposed to taste like and what I would aspire to do if I made it at home. So I was thinking on one of these trips that I would just be there and I would know, and then I could allow my body to align. I could become the commander, and then I could get there, right? So yeah, they weren't going to give me any sneak previews. They weren't going to give me a trailer of anything. So here I am, still learning on my own. And I think I'm about ready to start teaching other people, you know. So I have to figure out how to do that in a teaching format. Maybe just do as a group Zoom with people. Maybe charge a little bit just to cover the Zoom expenses, so on and so forth. But the key here is, how do I have a clear antenna? It goes into the core of Mother Earth, into the planetary connection of Mother Earth, and echoes everywhere. And so how do I be the cleanest human? Meaning the cleanest, meaning free of debris, old programming, unhealthy foods, so on, so forth, entrainments. How do I free myself from all of that and be fully anchored into this beautiful vibrational core of Mother Earth, and have this cord go all the way up into the source of Prime Creator, the me, myself, and I of all of it, and then be able to be in between these places and still be able to get the frequencies of the other planets and of all of the beings that are here to help, and all the physical beings that are here to help, and all the unseens that are here on Earth and under Earth and above Earth, and so on and so forth, that are here to help you connect. And know that this doesn't have to be as difficult. And this doesn't have to be where you have to take a third-party ingestion, sniff, injection, something coming in a brown bottle with a white top, and so on and so forth. That you don't always need these things in order to really soundfully connect with the heart center, the God Source Creator within you. So I'm sure more will come up regarding this topic. And I was told this morning that I would call this What in the World? I thought, okay, well, I have Intuitive Tuesday. Informational Wednesdays come through a few times. And now I'm going to do a series on what in the world. And what in the world? What in the world do you need to understand that you are enough? And if you can just get in there and rattle the old programming up to the surface and release it, and trust the fact that you don't need a lot of that programming. And that goes for all belief systems. And then start from scratch with your own belief system, your own belief system based on some experiences, and the experiences of the feelings that come along with all of it, and know that you've got this. And go to embodimentofthesoul.com, schedule an appointment if you'd like. We can at least start somewhere on the beginning steps of this path for you, so that you can get out there and launch on your own and connect. Because a lot of people have a lot of questions in the beginning, and I know I did, and I've worked with different healers for 3 or 4 decades now, always wanting to learn more and find out how I can be on this earth to be more in these learning experiences, and be able to let go what didn't serve me in the moment without discarding it, because it may come back a decade later, like, oh, I remember that this person, this shaman, this person was talking about this person was talking about that. I remember a little bit about that. I remember how I felt on that, and it would bring it back up. So, yeah. So I'm getting that's about all for right now. Just own your living, loving column of light, and work on releasing what doesn't serve you. And what doesn't serve you doesn't serve others. Trust me. And the more you release, the more you release for others. And you're releasing the burdens others are carrying by being another walking, living example of that you can away from all of it and just be right here and be A-okay with all of your strangeness. Because the strangeness is going to become the new platform for new norms. And I'm not into labels at all. All right? Love and light. You walk and live in love and light. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. See you on the next video.